Hello, my name is Laina and I'm a PhD candidate in the Ecology and Evolution program at Rutgers University. Ecologists, they study the environment and how living and non-living things interact. And so as an ecologist, I like to study amphibians and how they interact with man-made chemicals. What do I mean by man-made chemicals? It could be something like road salt that we apply when it snows, or it could be pesticides that we apply to our crops, or other various types of nutrients in the environment. And so how does that all work? Well, we might apply some type of chemical and then it may rain. And so then when it rains, that causes the ground basically to get clean, right? The rain cleans it and it runs off into a pond or wetland where different organisms or animals are exposed, and even plants too. For example, it could be algae, it could be plankton, or it could be a tadpole. And so I specifically study the Atlantic coast leopard frog. And what's really cool about this species is that it was just recently discovered in 2014. And actually, if you live in New Jersey or New York, it was studied and discovered in our region. So literally right in our backyard. And so the thing is, since it was just recently discovered, we really don't know a lot about this species and what makes it unique. And you can see why, because if you look at these pictures, the Atlantic coast leopard frog looks very similar to the southern leopard frog, and they sometimes live in the same habitat. But the easiest way to compare them and know which is which is by either looking at their snout or nose or their hind legs. You can see the Atlantic coast leopard frog has a slightly darker color on its legs when compared to the southern leopard frog. And so we want to know more about this species and the habitat that it prefers. And I get to go out and just try to find new populations of this species. But in addition to that, I also want to know, how does water quality affect this species? So I study the salinity, pH, and nutrients in the environment and try to figure out if that can help us predict where we would find this species. In addition, I also expose the frogs to different levels of salts to see how it affects their behavior and how fast they can swim. And so why does this all matter? It's quite possible that this species is in decline like other leopard frog species in the country. And so we think that it might actually be endangered and need to be listed soon. And so the research that I do hopefully will help inform a conservation plan in the future. So what does this all look like? I get to spend my days in wetlands, and these are some of my helpers. And so I get to catch frogs and tadpoles and really have a great time. So that's me.